go on to our next book here soon. But Paul is wrapping up his letter to the church in Rome, both Jews and Gentiles together, and I think you'll see some similarities to where we are in our time today. It says, Romans 15:1, now we who are strong have an obligation to bear the weakness of those without strength and not to please ourselves. First, you and I always have an obligation to be a blessing to other people. That's part of what God's desire for us in our life is, to be a blessing, so that we can do that for other people. We can raise others up. We can illuminate their understanding of who Christ is and the role that he has for them in their life. And so that's number one. And the way that you do that is to bear up the weaknesses of those others. It's always imperative that you who are strong bear with others. And what that means is you don't take advantage of them. Listen to what he says, and not please ourselves. You don't use that strength over weakness like you see so many do in power and authority and subject it to others. Now, there's a difference between rule and order and process. But what he's talking about here is you don't use your spiritual authority in a way that benefits and pleases ourselves. And you have probably seen witness of that, where people have taken advantage in the name of God and religion and church and blah, 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 right? So that's something to be mindful of. We bear the weaknesses of those. We take upon with us, and I have been blessed that I have people in my life through my grace journey when I was far from the Lord, living my life the way I wanted. I thought God had abandoned me, that he was done with me, and I was just like Peter. I was going back to fishing. I'm like, okay, I'm done. But God was good to me, and he sent others to bear with me in my weakness, and it was not to please themselves, because I was a pain in the rear end. Verse 2, each one of us must please his neighbor for his good. Again, for his good, not for us. It's not about us, it's about them. How often should we be reminded of that? So each one must please his neighbor for his good in order to build him up. The whole goal is to build them up, strengthen them up, to get them growing in their faith. They struggle, they have issues, they have moments where there's doubt or confusion or question, or the world has got a hold of them in some area of their life, and those who are spiritual should go and restore those gently. Verse 3, for even the Messiah did not please himself. On the contrary, as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. He took upon himself all of our shame.